Well, welcome back to the Ethio-American Bros YouTube channel.
In this video, we will be talking about our first-hand experiences going to Ethiopia.
Something's not right here. Hold up, let me change something. That's better.
No, whatever. Well, I guess we'll start off with our first trip to Ethiopia.
Well, what should we start with?
Well, from the beginning, of course.
Okay, I got you. In the beginning. God.
Not that far back. From the start of our vacation, Goofy.
Oh, my bad. Alright. Well, of course, the cost of going to such a beautiful country is the plane ride.
It's definitely worth it, but a 17-hour plane ride stuck in a smaller than 2x2 space, possibly next to some stranger snoring the entire flight, isn't the most fun.
We took off to our destination in 2019, Addis Ababa. When we got off the plane, it immediately felt like we were in a whole new country. The culture immediately hit us like a freight train. We were definitely in Ethiopia.
The air was so much cleaner, and being in a condensed plane with so many people in the same space, to being in the cleanliness of nature was a massive difference.
It was about an hour drive for us to actually arrive at our house. The streets weren't the best at this point when we first arrived, and it felt like the cars waiting on the people instead of the other way around.
Yeah, one thing that was crazy to William and I was that the people were way too trusting the way that people drove around. People walked in front of the cars aimlessly just to expect them to see them and to stop.
It was crazy.
Very weird.
When we arrived at the house, we were greeted with open arms from relatives we had never even met before.
The first couple days we were there, we quickly got a new friend. His name was Nati. He spoke pretty good English, and he was a very important part of our trip, being with us through the entire stay.
We hung out with him quite a bit, and the owners of the place that we were staying at, they left a dog there. We called him Bucci, because dog in Amharic is Bucci, so that's what we just called him.
We had two drivers, and one question we always used to ask them was Silka Bucket, which means phone please, so we could play games on their phones.
It slowly became a meme within the family. If you don't know what a meme is, it either means you aren't chronically online, like us two, or you are old.
Anyways, one thing we love to do in Addis was check out their huge malls. Our favorite mall, Dusk Mall, had a 4-floor laser tag arena.
Of course, our young selves really loved that. And when we were younger at our own house, we had an Xbox that we used to love to play Dance Dance Revolution on. We had these small pads that we would click the 4 arrows. So when we went to Ethiopia and saw in the mall that there was one with 5 arrows, of course we had to try it out.
Later that day, the day that the live action movie came out, we went to go see it, and with a special snack called Bombolino, which is just a donut with sugar coating instead of frosting. It's so good. Best snack we've ever had.
Another thing we used to do a lot was walking to church and walking in the streets and seeing the small shops lined along the streets.
Those small shops were called souk, and the church that was in our neighborhood was called Xavier A, and we always used to love walking there.
Yeah. And for the first time we were in Ethiopia, our dad wasn't able to come with us. But once he came in the second month we were there, we were traveling outside of Addis.
The first place we went to was called Bahar Dar, which is another town. And we stayed inside of Kritu, which is a resort in that town. And it was in the style of old huts, which were very nice inside.
It had a heated pool, canopies you can eat and drink in, and some amazing food. While we were there, we took a boat trip to some islands nearby to see the monasteries. We'll go more in depth on that in our future videos.
While we were there, we bought some special icons that had pictures of Mary and Jesus, scarves that were handmade by the monks, and some special necklaces that we still have to this day.
And the icon that we have is also right here. It's also been in the background the whole time.
Yeah, we got this from.
This is from the monastery. Really cool. We also went to Gondar and went on a cool hiking trip to the Nile and a crazy waterfall at the end of it. We also got some nice pictures, and the walk there was amazing, and the environment itself was amazing.
When we got back to Addis, it was almost time for us to leave. So we said our goodbyes, and we came back in time for us to leave.
Yeah, sad that we had to leave, but now we will move on to our second visit.
So, December of 2024, this last December, we took off for Ethiopia once more, hyped for the return to the country.
Yeah, when we got off the plane, we were hit with that same feeling, and were greeted by the same people, including one of our old drivers.
We lived in a different house this time, obviously, but it was around the same area. We did a bunch of new things there.
We went to Antoto Park, which is fairly new now. We went ziplining, went to a museum about Ethiopian history, went to a zoo, and we went to Dubai in the middle of our trip to celebrate my birthday and New Year's. But that's a story for another video.
Definitely. When we went to the museum about the national history of Ethiopia at Unity Park, we learned a ton about Ethiopia's history, and most of our information in our future videos will come from that museum and those pictures that I took, which are mainly about the religions and kings.
And he took some next level photos of all the info, so it'll be a great video in the future.
Every single piece of text you could find in that museum, I probably have a picture of.
Yeah, he took everything. We also got to see a bunch of family that we had not even met the last time, and more when we went again. I also got sick towards the end of vacation, which really sucked. But when we were seeing more people on that day, they really took us in still, even though I was sick. I even slept at one person's house, they fed me cake. It was really hospitable, and that's one thing I really love about Ethiopia.
Yeah, respect for everyone is on a totally different level.
What was your favorite part about the second trip?
Favorite part of the second trip? I think it was just seeing everything again, but with a more mature mind.
Yeah, everything was actually also more built up when we had returned. The city nightlife, there are so many lights on the streets now. We used to take drives every night the weeks that we stayed there. We also went and got ice cream one night, and it was like a really new city, because when we had went on our first trip, the streets were never that bright. All the buildings had lights on the lines of each of their sides. It was like beautiful.
Yeah, they definitely started investing more on their city appearance than they did on things about the government, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. It was just looked amazing. We drove by the palace. Unity Park was one of the most beautiful places I've been to. The flowers, the very diverse flowers, the different like mini museums inside of them, the palace being in there, it was crazy nice.
Yeah, this is a picture right here. This is a picture of us walking into Unity Park.
Yeah. We really appreciate all the support that we have gotten recently. We were not expecting to get as much traction as we did, and we really appreciate us getting over 70 subscribers in the first week of us being a channel.
Yeah,
it's crazy to me.
It's crazy. Make sure to like and subscribe and turn on post notifications so that you can stay up to date with all of our new videos.
Make sure to comment down below any more questions you have or suggestions about things we should do.
Yeah, speaking of which, in our last video, we got asked a pretty cool question. And here's the comment.
Do you know the famous artist who painted the shirt you are now wearing? Well, my brother and I researched this question, and now we are ready to share what our answer is.
The artwork that was on our shirts in the last video was called The Total Liberation of Africa. They were all painted by Afroek Tekla. He was born in 1932 in Kober, Ethiopia, and passed away in 2012.
He was mainly known for his paintings, usually about Ethiopian or Christian Bible stories, as well as his stained glass.
The artwork specifically was about King Solomon and Queen Sheba's Bible stories all combined into one artwork piece.
Yeah, and if you ever want to ask us any more questions in the next video, whether it's personal about America or Ethiopia, please put them down below.
Yeah, we will make sure to either answer it in the comments or in our following video at the end.
Thank you for watching, and we really appreciate all the support.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Ciao.